Hey lovies, it's me, Tiffany Haywood, and we are here for another episode of Adjust and Adapt. And today I am so excited that I get the chance to speak to someone who, like, what she does is amazing, but then her as a person is kind of amazing too. So I'm excited to welcome Kerry Dunn today from 𝐀𝐝𝐻𝐭 Farm and Apothecary. First, I want to tell you guys a little bit about what Adjust and Adapt is. So basically, with the whole start of COVID, I started noticing a lot of my favorite small business owners doing a quick adjust and adapt. Basically, they learned how they had to change certain aspects of their business, whether it be taking things online, offering curbside delivery, pickup. They learned what they had to do and they did it. And for that, I admired them and I was inspired by them. And that is also what inspired this whole weekly live series. Every week, I speak to one of those small business owners. We talk about what they've done in the face of COVID and even what they plan to do once we get past COVID. So I'm so excited right now to welcome to today's show or today's episode or today's edition or however you want to call it, my friend, Miss Kerry Dunn. So first, I want to ask, am I even saying it right? Because I know I have a tendency to mess stuff up. So is it Kerry Dunn or Dune, or is it 𝐀𝐝𝐻𝐭 or 𝐀𝐝𝐻𝐿?
It is Kerry Dunn, and it's 𝐀𝐝𝐻𝐭, but 𝐀𝐝𝐻𝐭 is fine because we technically do live on a sand dune. Well, former sand dune. It is 𝐀𝐝𝐻𝐭.
Okay, because I like after I said it, I was like, okay, so if her name is Dune, I'm like, I'm probably totally messing this up. So I just wanted to clarify. But either way, Kerry, thank you so much for accepting the invitation to be a part of today. I'm so excited to get to talk to you. I think I've actually interacted with you for at least a year, maybe a little bit longer. My first introduction to you was through Tiana Dean from Cornerstone. I went by her and I was telling her like I was feeling sick and I couldn't get sick because I had too much going on. And she was like, you need to get you some elderberry syrup. And first of all, my first question was, what's elderberry syrup? And the next question was, where do I get some? And she led me straight to you. At that time, I think I actually got it at Floating Shanty, but you're all over the place. So I want to start with you letting us know what is 𝐀𝐝𝐻𝐭.
Say that one more time.
What is 𝐀𝐝𝐻𝐭?
𝐀𝐝𝐻𝐭 is, it started off as I made these things for my family. So um, I wasn't happy with the options that I was finding for my children. So I thought, okay, well, we have a farm. I'm going to grow as many of these ingredients as I can. And then I'm going to make medicine for my children, for my family, my husband, and me, from these ingredients because we had just moved on to our farm. And I thought, well, if I'm making these for my family and they're working for my family, I should offer them to other people. I didn't really think much about it. And it just kind of evolved into my business that it is now. And I'm so proud of it. Because of that, I went back to college and I've been working on my degree. And God just kind of used that little seed to rocket me into a business I didn't realize I would have. And now into a degree and this career option. So 𝐀𝐝𝐻𝐭 is a family business, and it started from my love for children and a desire to give the best products and ingredients possible.
Okay, and before we went live, you were telling me, well, I do want to say Sandra Riviera says hi. So hi, Sandra. We're so happy you're watching. But before we went live, you were telling me the story. You were telling me the story about how your grandparents used to be ill a lot, and you used to take her old prescription bottles and actually go make her medicine from outside. Yes, I think that is so awesome. So obviously your passion for healing as well as using nature for healing started kind of early. So like, how did you even come into, or maybe explain to us what apothecary is? Because I've heard the word, but I'm not sure I actually know what it is completely.
Well, An apothecary is just an old time Chinese pharmacy. Back before there was a pharmaceutical industry, you had an apothecary and you had a local village man or woman that ran the apothecary that was in charge of kind of making all the medicines, making all the concoctions to keep the town or village healthy. Um, a lot of that was based off of nutrition. They didn't know that at the time. But you would, if you were feeling bad, you would go to the apothecary, and you would say, you know, I'm having these symptoms, I'm not feeling well, and he would make you something or give you something to take home, make you better. So an apothecary is just the old timey pharmacy before the pharmaceutical industry took over. Um, but this on here, my grandma put Kerry at 6 years old, and I always knew that I wanted to help people and heal people and to go into medicine. For the longest time, I thought that meant, you know, becoming a nurse or a doctor. But even as a kid, I guess I just instinctively knew to go outside and look for plants because the answer's always there, and there's always a plant that can help us in some capacity. And it's always kept this. Her and my mom have these, and so you can see dirt and rocks and all sorts of stuff in the bottom. And it's got my grandma's name on there, and she would keep them in the fridge. And I remember calling her one day and just saying, you know what? And I told my mom the same thing. I'm like, thank you guys so much for never making me feel silly for doing that. And I just want you to know that that helped lead me to the purpose that I'm in now, because it was never, I was never told it was foolish. Oh no, you shouldn't be making that. It's not a fix and twig and leave. No, they encouraged it and held on to it, and now it's my purpose and my job and a privilege to even know the knowledge that I know. So I'm really thankful.
And I know I'm super grateful to you because there's been at least 2 times where you've come to my rescue with the perfect remedy for something that I tried to go over the counter for and just had like no results for. Most recently, I think it was like in February, pre-COVID, but honestly, in my mind, I'm almost thinking maybe it was like an early form of COVID because I had never had the type of flu that I had. Like it was just, I thought I was dying. And I had
Mm-hmm.
tried everything and this cough just wouldn't go. And I think you saw me post about the cough and you were like, hey, I can
Mm-hmm.
mix something up and you met me in the McDonald's parking lot. I looked a hot holy mess because I was still trying to like feel better. And you gave me like a cough remedy. And now it's actually become part of your line because I took it for 2 days and the cough was completely gone. And then my friend Caitlin McFadden, who works at Seed with me, had the same cough. And I promise you, we both feel like we had some early form of COVID because it was just like the craziest flu ever. And I told her to get in touch with you, and you gave it to her, and it worked like awesomely. So I know that was one thing that you ended up adding into like your line of products, but how do you actually go about deciding what things are going to make it into the line of products?
Well, we had been watching the COVID stuff as far as my professors. When I say we, that I have through my college education right now, we had been watching the COVID stuff in China since probably mid-December. Um, People in the medical community were anticipating it coming over, and we were already kind of learning about what they were using as far as in traditional Chinese medicine to treat the symptoms of COVID-19. A lot of information still wasn't out. It's a novel virus. But as the information developed, they kept us up to date on protocols and treatments and things that they were using depending on the region. I kind of tentatively had an idea of what I would put in it. Not saying you should COVID or I treated COVID or anything. I don't want the FDA to come knocking at my front door. Um, that's serious. You have to be careful what you say. Um, but anyway, whenever you had that cough that wasn't going away, in the back of my mind, I was kind of thinking, oh, well, I wonder if COVID's already here, you know. Let's
Mm-hmm.
try this out. And whenever you told me that it worked, and then when Caitlin told me that, you know, she felt so much better, I'm like, well, even if this is for a limited amount of time, I wanted to make it available for people that might possibly need it. And I got a lot of really good feedback from that. I can't say that I'll probably have it all the time, but during, you think we'll have a COVID season? I don't know. During COVID and flu season, I'll have it available. I don't know how this is going to go in the future.
Well, I definitely think it should stick around for a little while at least because it worked miracles. And I have I think I got through like a little more than half the bottle before like I didn't need it anymore. And the other day we were cleaning out the fridge and my husband was like, "What is this stuff?" And I was like, "That was a miracle worker." Like, you don't even understand. So like, I thank you so much for that. And I think it's amazing how you can literally because I think our message, it was through Facebook Messenger, and you were just like, "So where is the cough? Is it dry? Is it wet?" Like you asked me a few questions and then that was all you needed. So I know you're in school right now to help educate or empower yourself even more with like the scientific knowledge behind it. But how did you come into this knowledge? Like how did you start learning to the point where you can literally hear the symptoms and then come up with a formula?
So I used to think I wanted to be a nurse. Okay, so I went and did that. And every time I tried to further my career in that, education in that, God was like, "Nope, no, no, it's not what you're supposed to do. Nope, no." So eventually I just took a step back and reevaluated. Um, I didn't really start taking it upon myself to educate myself as a professional until my daughter got sick. Before that, I just kind of dabbled because I've always enjoyed it. I've always loved, biology and chemistry, especially phytochemistry. I love botany. I'm the weird person that if you go on a walk with, I'm going to be pointing out plants and identifying them the whole time. My friends think it's so weird. I'm like, "Oh, what the hell? You don't see that too many places." Um, I have like tentative patches in different places of certain herbs that I know I can go pick and gather and forage, and they're just kind of like, "Okay, you get excited about that," but I can't help it. I just love it. But probably whenever my daughter got sick, that's when I started saying, "Okay, I got to figure this out," and I kind of became a body detective, if you want to call it that, trying to figure out how to get to the root of this problem. And that's kind of what a naturopathic doctor is. We're detectives. We're not trying to just treat your symptoms. We're trying to get to the root of the problem, to what started your chronic condition, and see how we can put that back in balance, to see how we can help your body repair itself. I mean, you can't force any type of repair or healing. And a lot of times it takes time because just like it took time to develop that chronic condition, it takes time to heal it also. So that's probably when I started taking it really seriously because it was personal. I wanted to know how to help my baby and how to help her get better. And she's so perfect and she's so wonderful and she's so healthy now. And that's probably a lot more God than me. I'm not going to take credit for that, but that's what put the passion for learning in me. And I never wanted to go back to school because I'm like, "Oh no, I don't want to take away from my family." And that's when I started really trying to push my products and sell things because it was paying for my tuition and my books, and I didn't feel like I was taking anything away from my children. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, "Oh, okay, well, I'm just gonna, use this business and put myself through college." And I have done that times 10. And I'm just so thankful for that. Every time I get a new customer or meet somebody at Dirtbag or like you, and they're like, "Oh, I've supported you for, over a year now." It warms my heart. I take it so personally because you really helped push me into my purpose. So every customer that I have, every person that I meet, every testimonial that I get about something that I've done that has helped someone, oh my goodness, it means the world to me.
Well, I know you have a lot of grateful customers out there, and I know I'm one of them. And I think one of the things that almost endears me to you is not only that you know your purpose and you're passionate and that you're faith-based in that, and you know that God has placed this gift in your life, but also that you literally look at every customer and you see them as a person and you see them as an individual. I mean, for you to meet me in the parking lot of McDonald's to give me a bottle of cough relief, I was like, are you serious? Like, you're going to do that? And you were like, yeah, sure. I want you to feel better. And I think that was the thing that touched me, because it wasn't about you trying to make a sale. It wasn't about you trying to bring me in as for another product. It was because you really truly wanted me to feel better. And I think the first time you actually met me downtown and gave me like a whole gift basket of products, and I was like, oh my gosh, like this is awesome. And so I do want to touch on that. Like, it's not just cough remedies, even though you have amazing products that I think all of us here in Fayetteville call our favorites. I know your allergy remedy is one of them. The elderberry syrup, I'm almost sure, has to be your top seller because we all swear by it. I mean, like every cold and flu season, everybody's like, go get Dunny's elderberry syrup. And then now the cough remedy, but you also have other products. So tell us a little bit about those. Tell us a little bit about the other products that you offer.
So we have a whole bunch of stuff. Anything from topicals like herbal salve. We have whipped magnesium butters to address magnesium deficiency. I make different tinctures. I make a lot of the essential oils that go on our products. I make those. So this earbud. I have a copper alembic steel that I distill the plant matter that we grow on the farm, and from the plant matter, you get a hydrosol and you get an essential oil. The essential oils are on top. I skim those off with this candy dandy little instrument that I have, and I save those in bottles, and I use those in our 𝐀𝐝𝐼𝐮 balm. I use them in our dandelion balm or jewelry salve. Any of the topicals that have essential oils in them are from essential oils that we make. I even make a white sage oil that gives it a headache balm. If I don't grow it or make it myself or forage for it myself, I get it from as local as possible organic farm or somewhere that grows it and harvests it sustainably. We have candles. I don't know how I got into making candles, but it's really, really popular. I have the candles that I make and sell, and then I also have a collaboration line in press that has just been super duper successful. And I mean, I know that you love press just as much as I do. I mean, that's one of the coolest shops downtown. And they have just been really, really, really successful in that store. And I think that it has to do with the smudging aspects of the candle. So a lot of people smudge with white sage. Not only do people do it for spiritual reasons, energy reasons, but it also helps the quality of your air. It's very antibacterial. So whenever you burn that, it's just going to help cleanse the air in the room also. I brought one to show you that I haven't released yet that I'm going to have for pre-order if you want to see.
Yes, let me see.
There's a glare, but this is our porch sitting citronella smudge candle.
Nice. And so citronella, for everybody who may not even realize, it helps keep like the bugs away in the summertime, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So not only is the citronella oil in the candle going to help, repel those little pests, the smoke from burning the white sage is going to help a lot too. So I'm not going to be a dirtbag yellow this weekend, but I have about a case of these. They're like 12 that I'll have available for pre-order. All you have to do is message me. And then you can either pick them up at one of my favorite locations downtown, or we can do it at the market the following Sunday. So I'm trying to get better at the online pre-order stuff and the pickup stuff, just to kind of adapt to everything we've had going on.
Yeah. And you've done an awesome job of adapting. I mean, like, on top of your in-person delivery that you've kind of always done, you also you collaborate with different shops. So we know that your candles are impressed. And then I also know that you're at a bit of Carolina. You're at Greenside Up now, I believe. So just tell us about how some of those collaborations came to be.
Oh man, they just kind of happened. I mean, literally, it's not something that I really fish for. I think that the press collaboration blossomed from a comment on Instagram. Um, Miss Robin in North Carolina has been just the best supporter of me, and she's been so sweet ever since I got started. I just love her, and I love her store, and I love how personal she is with the people in her store and with her employees. Um, and then at the Hill Pharmacy, I've got some stuff in there, and then Tiffany and Ray have always been super supportive and let me do pop-ups in front of their store, and I've always appreciated that. We did a curbside pickup in front of their shop like 2 weeks into the COVID stuff, and that was super successful. People really appreciated that because I think the initial panic of all of it um, made people really uncomfortable, and they were just trying to stock up, but didn't want to go anywhere. And businesses were just trying to adjust. So when we did the curbside pickup, I got a lot of really good feedback from that, where people appreciated me having everything ready, didn't have to touch anything. And even at their bag, I try to we're trying to adjust to have things where they get touched as little as possible, so your things are bagged and nice and clean, and they go directly to you. So um, I'm gonna try to start, on Thursdays or Fridays before the market,
Mhm.
whether it's on Facebook, Instagram, getting on and going live, and showing everybody what we have available that week, kind of giving some education on what the products do and what they're good for, and allowing them to pre-order um, and either pick up at a pickup location downtown or pick up at the market. That way, it's not like you have to linger and look, ask questions, come, just give me your name, which I know I know most of our customers are on first name basis now. And I'll just have it ready for you, so you don't have to linger if you're not comfortable being in a public place right now.
And that's awesome. And I think that makes a lot of sense. And that's an amazing option to give. We do have a few comments. Beverly Hale said Kerry Dunn is so awesome. And then Bill Hustis says baby girl
That's my
live.
daddy.
That's your daddy. And then we have,
He's in the other room.
oh, that's so cool. And then Scott Stumbo says go for family businesses. And that's what I appreciate. Like, I feel like you're giving your family this legacy from what you're doing right now. And I think that's really awesome. Even now, I do want to ask you a quick question. So the background behind us right now, I took from your Facebook page. What is this tree and like what does it represent? Because I know even your logo is a tree. So like tell us the story behind that the tree and your logo.
I'm glad that you asked that. The tree on my website, that is the angel oak down near Charleston, South Carolina. I'm originally from South Carolina. I'm a South Carolina girl, born and raised. I'm just a North Carolina transplant. Um, but I've always loved those huge live oak trees. Whenever we moved to Fayetteville, I'd never been to Fayetteville before. I'd never seen our house. My husband had another view, and he knew through a long story and testimony that that's what he was supposed to be. And once we kind of got that confirmation, I completely trusted him. He knew that I wanted to be on a farm because we used to live smack dab in the middle of town in Columbus, Georgia. Um, and he found this house, and he's like, it's an old farmhouse. We're gonna have to fix it up, but let me send you a picture of the tree in the backyard. And there's this huge oak tree in our backyard, and I'm like, oh, I'm sold.
Wow.
That's it. I love this house just because of the tree alone. And that tree to me represents our family because that tree has stood the test of time. It's deeply rooted in what it believes in, and no matter what hurricane we've had come through, um, that tree doesn't even waver. So um, I picked the oak tree as the logo for my business because I'm deeply rooted in what I believe in. I'm deeply rooted in my faith, and I'm not chasing a dollar. I'm chasing a purpose, and I'm gonna always stay that way. Whether I have a business for 15 years or it stops tomorrow, it means more to me to really know that my customers now want to help them, and that I really thought this is my calling and purpose, and not just I'm trying to make money because it's not about the money.
I think that's one of the things I love the most about you and your business. And that I'm not chasing a dollar, I'm chasing a purpose. Like I need you to just take that and like stick it everywhere because it really leads in directly to why you do what you do. It's your passion and it's your purpose and it shows in how you do what you do, in how you interact with your customers. Like I adore it. Basically, I'm a fan. You have a fan over here. Anytime
Thank
someone
you.
tells me, "Oh, I feel sick," I'm like, "You need to get to Dunny Acres. You need to ask her for this." And that's the other part of what I love because I know nothing, close to nothing about natural healing or anything like that. And so when I was told to do elderberry syrup, I was like, so what am I supposed to do exactly? And that's the awesome thing you always do. Like you will tell us, okay, take 2 tablespoons this often, and you also follow up because I remember you messaged me like a couple days later and was like, okay, is it working or do you feel like it needs to be adjusted? So you have that like perfect bedside manner, which is it's honestly rare nowadays. So kudos to you for that. So you did tell us about your
Thank
present.
you. And
You're welcome. So you did tell us about your presence at Dirtbag Ales Farmers Market. But I also noticed that recently you added even other products to your stuff, including bread. Now, how did that come about?
so I bake a lot, and part of our farm living is I have this really weird thing about me. Call it a hobby. I'm not sure what you want to call it, but I love making things from scratch. So I'm a jack of all trades, not to brag, but I mean I pretty much can make anything I need to. Whether it's pasta or bread or whatever, I can make it. Cooking is probably one of my second favorite things to do. And I don't know the last time I did it at a grocery store, but they're kind of hit and miss. Um, I just wanted to make sure that if I was cooking or baking homemade bread for my family, I know that they're getting plenty of good food and good bread, and with not any yucky ingredients or preservatives in it. I just wanted to offer some to my favorite people because it's hard to come by good ingredients and food right now, and so there's plenty of produce. And I think there's somebody else that sells bread. I'm not trying to get into the baking business, but I just wanted to offer some of what we had in our house.
And so, speaking of your farm, I know that you grow a lot on your farm itself. So, what are the varieties of things that you can find if you stop by Dunny Acres?
Well, it depends on the season. Um, but like right now, I just put our roselle plants in the ground. We grow, goodness, last year I grew so many, so I didn't grow as many this year. But last year I grew 80 roselle plants. Um, I don't know if you've ever seen one. I've got some pictures on my Instagram of what they look like. They're really big, and my poor husband helped me harvest that for months. And it's a pretty strenuous process to process those. Um, so we grow the roselle and the hibiscus in our, well, hibiscus as well, I'm people call it, but it just wasn't our roselle syrup. I grow a wide variety of herbs. I mean, from the lavender in our allergy elixir to the nettles to the peppermint, um, all of the things that I make tinctures and hydrosols out of, that's on our farm. But I also grow a lot of vegetables. I grow tomatoes and corn and green beans and peas and onions and radishes and carrots and cucumbers. We have grapes, we have peach trees, we have apple trees and pear trees and blueberries and blackberries and strawberries. And we have a bunch of stuff, and it just depends on what season um, we're in as to what I'm growing. We've had some late frost this year that's kind of given us a rocky start. But I think we'll recover. I think we'll be fine. Gardening is kind of one of those things that you, if you're saying you're an expert gardener, I don't believe you. Gardening changes every season, and there's always a challenge. And I think that's what I love is every year, every season presents its own challenges you have to overcome to get a good, successful crop.
Yeah,
That's my
and
tree.
I know it's so gorgeous. That is gorgeous. And then, so if you guys didn't notice, I was scrolling through her Instagram feed as she talked, and I came across this. So, what is Black Label Elderberry?
So that's one of the things that I love about my business is I have the ability to change the ingredients in our products as I see the symptoms and viruses change in the season. So I'll have customers like you or friends that'll say, um, this flu is a little bit different. I'm having these symptoms along with it,
Mm-hmm.
or this allergy season is a little different. And so as I see people tell me, oh, well, I'm struggling a little bit more with this, um, I change the formulations to give options for it's not just elderberry syrup. So that one right there had more immune boosters in it. Um, I don't typically put a lot of immune boosters in my regular elderberry syrup because not everyone's immune system can handle it. It's very stimulating in itself. So if you have not an immune disorder, if you've had COVID-19, you want it to support your immune system more than stimulate it.
Mm-hmm.
Um, White label elderberry elixir was a little bit more juiced up, for lack of a better term, than my regular elixir um, to stimulate a stronger immune response rather than just support your immune system. Because a large part in why the elderberry syrup works so well is its nutritional value. It's high in vitamin A, vitamin C, zinc, um, a lot of things that you need for a proper immune response that we just don't. I mean, I know that we think, oh, we eat that fruits and vegetables, we're good, but we don't take into consideration soil depletion, the way that those vegetables are grown. Um, so we can eat vegetables all day long, but in our current day and time, we almost always do some type of supplementation to fill in those nutritional gaps. So it was just a stronger elderberry syrup.
Well, I think that's awesome. And I think that's great that you are able to adjust your recipes because you monitor what happens. Because I mean, the fact that you pay attention is key as well. And we were talking about the other products that you offer. You also have like bath salts and mask, facial mask. And there's the other thing. So I swear by your elderberry and I swear by the allergy serum. But there's also you have a headache balm, and I've suffered from migraines since I was about 12 or 13. And I think you gave me the headache balm in as part of like a set or something. And I had a headache one day, and like ibuprofen wasn't working, and I was taking army grade, which you know is like 800 milligrams, and it still was not like hitting that headache. And I remembered about the balm, and I think I messaged you real quick and was like, "Okay, so how does this work? Like, do I like taste the balm? Like, what am I supposed to do?" And you told me, like, just like rub it in the areas where there's a tension headache, and I did it, and it was like a matter of maybe 20 minutes before I felt like a relief. But that was like an amazing product to me. So, like, just
Mm-hmm.
touch on a couple of the other things you have, like outside of the syrups and the recipes and stuff.
Right. So the headache balm is probably one of our best sellers as far as topicals. That and the magnesium lotion. Um, the headache balm is also apparently what I've heard from a lot of customers. It works great as a chest rub too when you have cough. Um, it just because of the blends that I use in there, it works to help open up your sinuses and relax muscles. So that's why I tell people it's great for tension, headaches, pressure related headaches. Um, let's see what else. Our face mask. So I used to buy that from Sephora. Okay, I'm almost 30. I got to start working on my anti-aging a little more, especially as much as I'm out in the sun. Um, and I was buying this mask from Sephora, and it was like $33 for an ounce.
Mm-hmm.
And I looked at the ingredients and I'm like, wait a minute, hold the phone. I grow all this. So I started making it and offering it, organically at 4 times the amount for less than half of the price just because I was using it and didn't realize I grew all the stuff for it. And that gets really great reviews also, just because the hibiscus is a great plant source of collagen. I don't think a lot of people know that. But, we make a variety of hydrosols that are good for, goodness, a host of reasons, depending on what hydrosol it is. Some of them are used for facial toners. We have a white face smudging spray that's really popular with teachers, which I know that we're not in classes right now, but for people that can't burn white face, they really like the hydrosol because, you're getting the smudge without burning anything.
Mm-hmm.
Um, tinctures have been very popular, especially since I introduced some mushroom tinctures to our tincture line. We live in the age of adaptogens. We all pretty much have a degree of adrenal fatigue because of our lifestyles, and that's something I've really tried to focus on is just education on adaptogens and pushing the power of mushrooms. I think a lot of times when you talk about mushrooms, people are like, "Ooh," they get uncomfortable. But there are some really therapeutic medicinal mushrooms um, that I love. Oh yeah, our tea powder. So we use that too. Part of whenever my little girl got sick was we were trying to cut out as many toxins as possible. Um, that includes fluoride.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so once again, I like to make stuff from scratch. And oh no, my battery's going dead. I need to plug up my battery. Um, that's something that I made for my family. And so I just started offering it. The black drawing salve is an old Appalachian folk remedy. Um, it has activated charcoal in it, and that's to draw out bee stings, any type of bug bite. Um, it's really good for a lot of stuff. I'm trying to think if I'm forgetting anything. Oh, our Master Fire Tonic. I don't know if you've ever tried that. Um, it's some stout stuff, but if you have a sinus infection, it is gonna knock it out. I don't know if any of our people watching use our fire tonic, but it is some serious stuff. And the beard balm. So you've never met my husband, but not only is he just absolutely wonderful and supportive, but he has got like award-winning level beard. Okay, if you're looking for a beard, my husband would get a blue ribbon. His beard is glorious and perfect. So I made him beard balm to help keep it nice and conditioned and shiny. And usually around Father's Day, we have that out at Dirtbag for our fellow dads with beards.
So you have like so many amazingly different products from the beard balm to the Master Fire Tonic. Just so many things. What is this one? Oh, that's the Hydrosol facial mist. So
Mm-hmm.
people do not underestimate what you can find with Dunny Acres. There's so many things, and I love the fact that it's a family business, that you grow everything, that you pay attention to what's happening and to what your clients may need, what you think they're going to need, and then you adjust as you see fit. It's awesome. It's honestly awesome, and it's admirable. So kudos to
Thank
you
you.
for doing so much, for paying so much attention. Guys, I want you to follow Dunny Acres. I'm scrolling below. You can follow her at Dunny Acres Farm and Apothecary on Instagram. You can follow her at Dunny Acres on Facebook. And Kerry, you go ahead and let them know what else you can do. Like you said, you're not going to be at Dirtbag this week, but let them know your schedule and when they can find you and how they can place orders and even how they can locate your products.
Okay. So we're going to be at Dirtbag L's next Saturday. Not Saturday, next Sunday from 10 to 2. If there's anything that you're wanting specifically, all you have to do is message me, whether it's through Facebook, Instagram. I can let you know the prices that we have, what we have available, and I can send an invoice right to your email, and I have a pickup location downtown. I have one at the market. Whatever you're comfortable with. I'm in town a lot here lately, doing drop offs to my stores anyway. So even if I need to meet you one on one, that's fine with me too. If you have something specifically that you're dealing with, I don't mind making something just for you individually. Just me and let me know, and we'll go from there.
That's awesome. And Kerry, thank you again for agreeing to be part of today's episode. I'm so excited for everything you're doing, for everything you have happening. I know that I need to get me a citronella candle because it's that time of season where sitting outside in the evenings is beautiful, but it can also be dangerous when it comes to the bug. So I know I need to order myself one of those just so that I can have it. And I'm excited for everything you're doing. Guys, please be sure you follow her, support this small business owner as she adjusts and adapts, not only for COVID, but just to maintain her business and to make it a success. Kerry, thank you again. I hope you have an amazing rest of your day. You guys be sure to tune in next week. We're going to be back with another small business owner, and we're going to spotlight them and see how they are adjusting and adapting in the face of COVID and what their plans are beyond. Be sure to follow my page here, Tiffany Haywood Blog and Brand Consultations. This is where you'll see what's coming up and who's going to be here. And then also, guys, we know we're officially in phase 2. It started last night at 5 p.m. We have a lot of our small businesses who are open right now. So head downtown, support them. You can also visit downtownfacestrong.com to see who's open and to see how you can offer them your support. I'm super excited for everything that's happening with our downtown businesses. And I can't wait for you guys to see that and to also join us for the next edition of Adjust and Adapt. But until then, stay safe, stay blessed, stay happy. I will see you guys next time. Bye. Say bye, Kerry.
Bye. Thank you.